Are you there, Mr. Keene? Can you hear me or no hear me? Nope, I don't think you can hear me. I don't know what you're doing. Are you doing something else during a hearing that you have with me? What in God's green earth were you doing, Mr. Keene? Not paying attention, not being here in our plea and sentencing. What were you doing? Because I know you were talking, I know you were doing something, and you weren't listening.
Your Honor, my apologies. My client for 215, I just called. I had not been able to reach him. I was trying to.
I don't care. I don't care. You are literally in the middle of a plea and sentencing. You are not showing respect to your client. You are not showing respect to the court. You are not doing your job. We will go on the record in the matter 25 CF 115, State of Wisconsin versus Dylan McCarthy. The state appears through District Attorney Kevin Schmidt in person. Mr. McCarthy appears in person with his counsel Glenn Keene by video conferencing. We're set for a tentative plea and sentencing. Is this matter proceeding as such, Mr. Keene?
Yes, Your Honor, and I just filed the plea paperwork shortly. I apologize for the lateness on it. I was trying to contact my other client for this afternoon, and I'd sent the proof of that to ADA Villard instead. And it called for a reduction to a misdemeanor upon proof of completion of treatment. Mr. McCarthy has that. I don't know if he's had a chance to present that to District Attorney Schmidt for his review.
Why don't you go show Mr. Schmidt?
I've already gotten it.
Okay, you're good to go. All right. So all I'm waiting for is the plea questionnaire, which has now come through. Okay, and so what kind of treatment did you complete?
CSG SUD and substance abuse, cognitive behavioral therapy skills, and substance use disorder group. I did a few of them, but this was the most recent one.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. How many weeks and things were they?
The inpatient was 30 days, and then I went to the intensive outpatient was a 12-week course.
And how are you feeling?
Good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you.
Okay, formal motion to amend from which one would you be amending?
I need to know what it says on the plea questionnaire.
Well,
It would be the, sorry, Your Honor, it would be amending the possession of narcotic drugs to possession of amphetamine and DRI the others.
Okay. I was just confused because there's not a possession of methamphetamine charge. It's the narcotic drugs. So I was just confused about that. I believe it's count one. So a motion to amend count one to an amphetamine.
So made.
Okay. Granted. So I do have the plea questionnaire waiver of rights form in front of me, and it appears that you signed that document. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little confused about why it says amphetamine on there. I don't know if that's a legal term or something, but there wasn't any thing of that involved in the case.
Offer in the case was a misdemeanor. I would have assumed we maybe would have done a different one.
I would think so too, because that totally shocked me when I saw that, because I'm like, there's not a possession of methamphetamine here.
Right.
And so honestly, if you're going to get the credit of having a misdemeanor.
Okay. Yeah, so, that's the one I found in there. Was a misdemeanor in the statute, but if there's a different one the DA was thinking of, I'd certainly,
Sure. One sec.
And here's the deal. Mr. Keene went over everything else with you on that plea questionnaire, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so I can go over, if it is amended to something else, I can go over all of that and what that means to make sure that you understand, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
What I would suggest instead is fentanyl is a drug that can be prescribed. So instead doing possession of an illegally obtained prescription, 450.11 sub 7 sub H.
Okay, that sounds much better to me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, didn't get that. Okay. All right. You okay with that, Mr. Keene?
Yes, Your Honor. And that has a lower penalty than the other, if I recall correctly. I'm just pulling it up just to refresh me.
It's an unclassified misdemeanor with a penalty of $500 and or 6 months jail.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. McCarthy, now discarding the charge and the maximum penalties that Mr. Keene went over with you, he went over everything else with you thoroughly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Essentially word for word?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand everything completely?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're 27, you can read, write, you understand the English language, high school diploma or equivalent, No alcohol, drugs, or medications.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you receiving any treatment for a mental illness or disorder?
No, Your Honor, I completed that through this.
Excellent. And on that document, there's a list of constitutional rights. Did Mr. Keene go over those rights with you thoroughly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that once you plead guilty, you're waiving and giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you need me to go over those rights with you in any more detail?
I do not.
You understand them and that you're giving them up?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you're not a citizen of the United States, your plea could result in your deportation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that here, it's possession of possession of a prescription or prescription illegally? I need to get that real name down. What is the name of the possession?
Possession of a prescription drug without a valid prescription.
Prescription. Okay, so do you understand that you were being charged with possession of a prescription drug without having a valid prescription?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that the state would have to prove that you possessed medication that requires a prescription and that you did not have a prescription for that medication?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the maximum possible penalty could be a fine of up to $500 or 6 months of incarceration or both?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you also understand that there's an agreement here for costs only and for costs and for 1 year of probation? Do you understand I'm not bound to follow that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Said differently, I could sentence you to the maximum penalty if I thought it was warranted.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you still wish to proceed and enter a guilty plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you go over that criminal complaint with your attorney, that original charging document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in that document, there's a section called the probable cause section where it basically says what happened that day and why you were charged with the crimes.
Yes, Your Honor.
For the most part, are those facts accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty to possession of a prescription without a valid prescription because you're guilty of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Keene, may the court use the probable cause section of the criminal complaint to find a factual basis along with the statement made by Mr. McCarthy. You're muted. And Mr. Keene, you're muted. Is he here? Is he there? Is he anywhere? Are you there, Mr. Keene? Can you hear me or no hear me? Nope, I don't think you can hear me. I don't know what you're doing. Are you doing something else during a hearing that you have with me? What in God's green earth were you doing, Mr. Keene? Not paying attention, not being here in our plea and sentencing. What were you doing? Because I know you were talking, I know you were doing something, and you weren't listening.
Your Honor, my apologies. My client for 215, I just called. I had not been able to reach him. I was trying to.
I don't care. I don't
understand, Your Honor.
care. You are literally in the middle of a plea and sentencing. You are not showing respect to your client. You are not showing respect to the court. You are not doing your job.
My apologies, Your Honor. I was trying to make sure I didn't have a client with a missed bond appearance, Your Honor. I was not
Again,
going to. I understand
your
that.
cause, not your concern during a plea and sentencing or any other hearing. Otherwise, your butt should never be on Zoom. It should always be in the seat next to your client, because that is so unprofessional. That is so unethical, what you just did. Now, I don't know where you stopped listening and paying attention to the hearing that you're involved in and where you didn't. So now I have to start over. My apologies to you, Mr. McCarthy, sincerely. Now, Mr. McCarthy, again, I'm going to go over all of this stuff with you. Your attorney, hopefully focusing directly only on you, went over the plea questionnaire waiver of rights with you, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you believe he went over it thoroughly with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he went over it word for word?
Yes, Your Honor.
And all of those things, again, you're 27, high school diploma, read, write, understand English, no medications, drugs, or alcohol in the last 24 hours.
No, Your Honor.
No mental illnesses or disorders.
No, Your Honor.
Because you're charged with crimes, you're entitled to constitutional rights. Each of those rights is listed on the plea questionnaire. Did your attorney go over those rights with you word for word?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand them completely?
Yes, Your Honor.
you understand that by pleading guilty, you're waiving those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that, or do you need me to go over those rights with you in any more detail?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you're not a citizen of the United States, your plea could result in your deportation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that the state would have to prove that you possessed a prescription drug without having a valid prescription?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand the maximum penalty could be a fine of up to $500 or 6 months of incarceration or both?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that there's the agreement that's been reached for you to have costs and 1 year of probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand I'm not bound to follow that?
Yes, Your Honor.
I could sentence you to a maximum penalty if I thought it was warranted. Understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, your attorney, he went over that criminal complaint with you
Yes, Your Honor.
with those facts that allege what happened that day and why you were charged with the crime.
Yes, Your Honor.
For the most part, are those facts accurate?
They are.
Are you admitting here today that in fact did possess a prescription drug without a valid prescription?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Keene,
Yes,
may
Your
the
Honor.
court use the probable cause section of the criminal complaint with the statement made by Mr. McCarthy to find a factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any threats or any promises to you, Mr. McCarthy, for you to plead guilty to this charge?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing so freely and intelligently. That means you're telling the court you fully understand what you're doing
Yes, Your Honor.
and voluntarily.
Yes, Your Honor.
Has your attorney represented you competently?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he answered all of your questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he looked at this matter thoroughly?
Yes, Your Honor.
At this point in time, are you satisfied with his services?
I am.
Okay. You have any questions for the court or for your attorney before I proceed?
No, Your Honor.
And if I didn't ask this before, he's appearing by video, right? Do you understand you have the right to have him seated right next to you, to sit there and pay attention to what's going on? You
I do.
understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And and so you are okay with him appearing by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions for Mr. Keene or the court before I proceed? Because I can send you to a breakout session in our Zoom room, or I can say you can have time to go quick, give your attorney a call if you need that. Any questions?
Not about this, Your Honor.
Okay. Then as to amended formal motion to amend to possessing a prescription drug without a valid prescription.
So made.
Granted. How do you wish to plead to the amended count 1?
Guilty.
The court will find your plea of guilt is done knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. I'm going to find that you understand your constitutional rights and what it means to waive and give up those rights. I'm going to find a factual basis to accept your plea of guilt. Based on that, I will find you guilty of the amended count 1. Counts 2, 3, and 4 will be dismissed and read in for purposes of sentencing. A judgment of conviction will be entered today. Argument, Mr. Schmidt.
I think at least from Burnett County's perspective, we're mostly concerned with the substances that Mr. McCarthy is using. He doesn't seem to have any criminal history up until 2021 when he gets that fleeing in Washburn County. And then subsequently, he would be convicted of another fleeing in Minnesota in which he had fentanyl and methamphetamine on him, or more precisely, a tinfoil that tested positive for fentanyl, and then some powdery substance that tested positive for methamphetamine. So that was in February. Our case came a few months later. So fentanyl is an extremely dangerous drug. It's very easy to overdose on it. Our concern is making sure people don't get addicted to it. It's extremely addictive too. So this disposition shows that because of the things he's already done, we don't need to pile on with more felony convictions. However, we still have some supervision to make sure that we're making sure that he can have the tools he needs to defeat that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Keene.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd encourage the court to adopt the recommendation because, as the DA pointed out, there's mostly a substance abuse issue, and Mr. McCarthy has worked diligently over the past, several months plus, taking advantage of his, taking advantage of benefit available to him as a veteran to get inpatient treatment through the VA, along with outpatient treatment, and he's been doing that so that he can, take custody and care for his child and be involved in the child's life. And Mr. McCarthy has, managed for, since since coming back into compliance with court, he's, managed to avoid further legal trouble while completing treatment, which, as the court and the DA is well aware, is not always easy when you're, trying to overcome substance abuse disorders, over the length of this case. And I think the fact that he's managed to do that while making it to treatment, other things, is proof that a probation to provide continued supervision over Mr. McCarthy is an appropriate set result for this court. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. McCarthy, is there anything you want to tell me you want me to know about this and about you?
I know we touched on the substance abuse stuff, and that is just one of the biggest things that I'm proud of at this point is staying sober and remaining sober. And that is not anything I think the court or anybody has to worry about. And it's upmost on my mind, but I don't, I just see good things coming. So I appreciate your guys' help with everything also.
How long have you been sober?
Since August 5th of last year was the last time that I had used fentanyl. So I'm coming up on a year.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
That is something to be very proud of. You're a veteran?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where did you serve?
In Washington State, and I did training in Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri, and then I was stationed in Washington State.
How long were you in this service?
2 years and some change. It wasn't very long.
And so you have access to VA resources?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation anywhere else?
Just in this county.
In this county?
So I got put on probation in Minnesota, and then they transferred me over here. So technically I am on probation in Minnesota, but I just am handled by Burnett County for probation.
Yep, I understand that. Okay, that's good to know. So in Minnesota, what were you convicted of?
The flee and evading.
And how long were you on probation?
2 years in Minnesota. Or I think Minnesota had given me 3 years.
So when's your discharge date?
2030.
Okay. And the fleeing, when did that happen?
In February of 2023, I think, in Minnesota.
What happened? Why'd you flee?
I was scared. I was homeless. I was on drugs. I didn't want to go to jail. I was just making the wrong decisions. I think the biggest thing that contributed to that was the substance abuse.
You have kids?
I do not.
You do not have kids?
No, I got the DNA test back, and it turns out that I was not the father of the baby boy. So
It could be sad. It could be glad.
Yep.
Both could be either.
Right.
You have a home?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who do you live with?
Richard Cook.
You sober?
Yes.
Good friend?
Yes,
You have a sober network?
I do.
Who?
The guy I live with, I met him when I was in treatment in St. Cloud in VA. That's how I had linked up with him.
That's why you moved here?
That is how I met Rich.
Okay, but why did you move to Burnett County? Oh my God, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Just dawned on me who you are.
Yep.
Yeah, sad. For the baby.
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
Well, it looks like you're doing good. And your mom?
Doing well.
And she's sober and she's strong in there.
Yes, she is.
Seems like a very great woman.
She is.
Okay. And I forget where she lives.
Cable.
Yeah, that's right. So it's close, but not close.
Yep.
Okay. Do you go to any sober groups?
I was attending AA and going to the Compassion House, and I was attending them. Now the weather's been nice. I've been doing a lot of stuff outside, so I should probably go start back and attending them again. But I was hitting them all the spots that are available in the area.
Do you know what your triggers are and what makes you crave substances?
Yes, Your Honor.
Want to explain? Want to talk? You don't have to.
My triggers for me are, it could be people, certain people that I hang around, my mood, my environment.
If you get triggered, what's the plan?
I call my family, my little brother, my sister. I FaceTime them if anything's not going how it should for me.
You need probation?
I think, I wouldn't say no to that. I think, having probation there as a helping stepping stone would be good for me. Having, resources in the community.
Sounds like you have access to a lot of resources.
Yes, Your Honor.
So are you saying that you think probation could be another helping hand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Want probation, you'll get probation. I was considering not, but because it sounds like you have a very good sober network and access to resources, but I'm not going to deny you if you feel that you need an extra hand.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So you have went through a lot in the last 5 years, let's say.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
And I know that from other places, and I'm not going to go into it, but I do have an idea of your history, that you were homeless, and then you came back here, and I'm so glad you met Rich, because it sounds like that's a really good connection for you. I know your mom and your sister, and they seem like very good, solid, upstanding, respectable people. So that's a good source that you can rely on. Use it. Always use it. I don't think you're a threat to the community. Quite honestly, I think you are steps ahead of where someone else could be that is in need of probation. But again, I'm not going to deny it if you want it, honestly. So what I'm going to do is I will follow the recommendation, 1 year of probation with conditions of absolute sobriety, no use or possession of any illegal drugs, substances, or paraphernalia, no alcohol, regular or testing upon agent discretion. Are you working?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where do you work?
With Rich, he does HVAC stuff, and I've been, his apprentice or laborer.
That is an excellent field to get into. Excellent. All right. So, and I'm going to say gainful employment, keep that up, keeps you out of trouble. I'm not going to order you to go to any AA meetings or other sober meetings. I highly recommend it, so you don't lose that. All right, you have 20 days to appeal. Well, actually, I'm going to order $443 in fines and fees. We have more than that in bail to cover that. So you get a check back, or whomever posted it will get the money back. You have 20 days to appeal. Should you fail to appeal within 20 days, you do lose that right. You must report to probation immediately. But first, you're going to go to the jail to get your DNA because they need that. You have the right to request it be expunged through a written letter to the Department of Justice, but Minnesota probably already has it in the CODIS system. So, but you still are free to do that. It's easy to do. Google, and it'll show you how to do it. So go take care of your DNA. Go to probation immediately. Get that all set up and ready to go. Address still on Kruger Road.
Yes, Your Honor.
Telephone ends in 1364.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Schmidt, anything I'm missing?
Nothing from me.
Mr. Keen?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We are adjourned. You're going to need a DNA thing to go to the jail. Go get that stuff done. Congratulations, I guess, but I'm commending you. You have done so much work since last August. I'm just so
Thank
proud of you. Keep it up.